a very special guest. But first, I want to say we have new internet. It better work really well, and our guest is right here. Let me invite her over. Da-da-da-da. Who is our guest of the day? If you didn't read our previews, you will find out very soon. Sofia, ¿cómo estás?
Hello!
How are ya?
I'm doing very well. I can't complain. I'm safe at home, working very hard every day. How are you?
I'm doing really well. For those of you that are just watching, Sofia Sanchez from Florida International University, FIU, and we're trying to match colors here. So, Sofia, how are things down there? Where do you live right now?
So I actually live in Pembroke Pines, Florida. It is in Broward County, about 25 minutes away from the main campus of FIU, which is in South Miami in 8th Street. Um, but everything is good. I mean, we go outside to take walks. It's beautiful days outside. All FIU employees are working remote, so we're working from our homes. Regular business hours from 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. We're still answering students. We're doing lots of Zoom calls, so we have a lot of scheduled Zoom calls with students all around the world, and we're just trying to assist students as best as we can. We're updating students constantly. FIU has on their main page COVID-19 updates.
Okay.
And our president Rosenberg, he constantly every week is sending employees updates. So we are making progress. And we're having very regular meetings to find ways to make sure our campus is safe, to make sure that we're following protocols of the CDC, of local government. We're really trying to contribute. Also, FIU is a testing center for COVID-19, so we're doing everything we can.
Okay. I see FIU at I-75. They're just saying hello.
Yes.
Hello, colleagues down there. Well, for those of you that are tuning in, Sofia Sanchez graduated from FIU in 2015. And I don't want to mess this up, but it's a major in mass communication and a minor in marketing, correct?
See, yes.
Good, good, good. So we will go deeper into majors later on. And you're currently studying your master's MBA in international business, correct?
Yeah, correct. For
Right.
FIU. And so FIU, because I work in the university, I get a very big discount for doing my master's there too. So I can't complain too much there. Very lucky and fortunate, and I will be graduating with my master's at FIU fall 2020.
Yes. So, and I know you guys are making to the top ranks in your business school. Your
Yes.
MBA is freaking phenomenal.
Yeah. Our MBA online is in the top 10 best in the world. So
Wow.
students who are interested in doing a completely remote online program, MBA, so in the graduate level of business, FIU is the school to do that. It's top 10 in the US. So I'm very fortunate.
Okay. This is your space. So this is all about FIU updates and so forth. So thank you for being here this afternoon. I know you got it. Maybe you don't have to go back to work after this live, or you have to, but have you found yourself super busy during this time now that we're working remotely?
Yes, yes, because for a few reasons. Because of the timing, the time of the year. For example, for the freshman applicants, they're choosing what universities they're going to in fall, whether it may be in person or online. They're picking their new university, right? So students have a lot of questions, and so do their parents. So a lot of Zoom calls, a lot more meetings internally within FIU to decide what are the best next steps. And so we're very, very diligent and careful with that. And then even more so, new responsibilities that we've had to each take on because we don't have the resources in our offices anymore.
Yes.
So we're all working as a team, cohesively. And so in a way, busier, but also more productive. I wake up and I don't have to drive an hour or drive 30 minutes to work. I just, get up, brush my teeth, take a shower, and get to the office, and it takes 10 minutes. So
Well,
there's pros and cons.
I know there is a Danielle Jones says, please do fall in person. In person, we're having some. So sorry, I don't know if it was you or me, but it's
Oh, I
okay.
don't.
It's technology. So okay, so let's go back. You graduated in 2015.
Correct.
Then for a couple of years, you work in public relations.
Yes, and public relation and advertising for big clients. Even some in those in that industry, also events. So Disney International, located in Coral Gables. Public relations for Beckham United and David Beckham trying to make the team here in South Florida. Um, so big names, Telemundo. Um, and then I decided for after 2 3 years that I wanted to not only go back to school, but this awesome opportunity of connecting with potential students of FIU and traveling to meet them, meeting their parents. It was an opportunity that I did not want to miss. So I applied for the job and I ended up getting it. And now 2.5 years later, I'm still here working for FIU. I love FIU. I went to school there. The experience was amazing, which is why I love my job, because I get to talk about that experience with international students or just students in general. And like we talked about, we were both really into Relay for Life, and that's one of the biggest clubs we have at FIU. We have over almost 400 clubs and organizations for students to join. So lots of opportunities for students to feel at home, for students to get involved, to meet other students just like them, or maybe students who are completely different but similar interests. And now I get to talk about that with students, and they can kind of share the experience with me. So it's an amazing opportunity.
So Danielle Jones is asking, what is your best memory of your undergraduate?
Wow. I mean, there's so many. I joined, we have a very big Greek life. So I joined a social organization, and I had such a good experience there. It was really one of the main connections that led me to this job and other jobs I've had. The philanthropy that we do at FIU is incredible as well. But I think my favorite memory, and if anyone I know is watching, I see Laura came in. She was my coworker. Was 2014. I was named homecoming queen of FIU, and
Ooh.
so I that's my favorite memory because I decided to run because of my love for FIU, and I had to do a talent show. I had to make people, encourage people to vote for me. And it was a lot of work, but it was worth it because, I get to represent FIU in a different way than I ever imagined.
Well, you do a really good job, and I will tell people why. So you got into FIU. I was an admission counselor. What is your current territory?
Okay. So I mainly handle North America. So Canada, students within the US who are on F1 visas or EL visa, Mexico, and then I do South America, Central America. So the main territories or regions I do travel to that FIU is very popular is Brazil, Colombia, Ecuador. We have my colleague who also does, she's been to Peru. She does the Caribbean, which is very popular as well for FIU. Um, Venezuela, we don't actively travel there,
Yeah.
but we
Okay, we got technology. Okay, we're
sorry.
back.
Yes.
No.
But we do actively contact a lot of the Venezuelans who are already here in the U.S., especially Miami. And I work with a lot of the counselors in Venezuela, and we do whether it's monthly or weekly Zoom meetings. So those are a lot of the active recruitment we do, but primarily the Western Hemisphere, except the Caribbean. That's what I do.
So let's jump in. Last year, the whole team at JCT for Education, we had the opportunity to tour and visit your campus. We
Yes.
were blown away. For people that are in Miami, parents, students, the whole family, friends, professionals, please, please, there is no excuse why not to visit FIU. It is absolutely stunning. Everything that you guys have from your student center, your dormitories, your programs, your law program is one of the best right now. It's,
Awesome.
it's, it's freaking amazing. And I will highly recommend. One of the things that I was most impressed, I worked for a university, for two universities, is your centralized location where you will answer all the questions to the students, to your incoming students, and but also your current students. Can you
Our
talk a
one
little bit
stop.
about that? The one
Yeah.
stop.
The One Stop Office was actually, they started the One Stop Office right when I graduated around the end of 2015. I remember they were building that big building, and it's a central building. So essentially, a student that has a prospective student, like an applicant, or even an actively enrolled student at FIU, if they have any sort of issue with financial aid, with registering for classes, with application and admission process, they can come to this one stop. And this one stop is where they can first ask their questions, and either one stop right then and there will help them, assist them, and have them resolve their issue, or one stop will connect them to the direct office or person that can resolve the issue. So really it is students who go there, they get a lot of assistance, they get put in the right direction. And for one of the largest universities in the US, we're the fourth largest research institute in the United States. We have over 56,000 students, and that's not including the ones who are interested, who are applying to FIU. We need a central place to assist our students. So that solution came in, and I think that not many universities have something similar, but FIU is one of them, and FIU does a fantastic job. And it was something definitely needed, because when you have so many students to assist, you need good customer service. So it is a challenge. It is hard because we have so many students and so many employees as well. But One Stop definitely makes it easier and centralizes it.
Well, let me tell you, when we toured your campus, uh, and we left your campus, we were just chatting, chit-chatting in the car. We were like, it was wow all the way, and the excitement just came across our veins, and we shared the whole spirit with parents, students, and I'm blown away, particularly for the parents that live here in Miami, how they're going back, whether they're getting their MBAs, law degrees, masters in education, and so forth. So you guys are doing a great job. I'm so proud of FIU.
I hear it all the time, where people will always say they visit our campus, and if they visited before, it's usually been years since, and they go, wow, FIU used to be, 20 years ago, just 3 or 4 buildings, and now it's a city. We have
Yes.
30 restaurants on campus, we have
Wow.
traffic lights, we have a 3-story gym, we have our own little Apple store, we have 3 Starbucks, and that's just the main campus that's in South Miami. Then we have a campus in North Miami, which is the Biscayne Bay campus. Beautiful campus. I recommend students, or okay, I'm back.
Okay.
I recommend students interested in FIU to visit. The dorms and the dormitory there is beautiful as well. The apartments, I mean, it's just fantastic. It's beautiful. And over there, so basically, a lot of students have questions about this. Most students, when they start as freshmen, they do their first year or 2 years at the main campus, which is in South Miami.
Okay.
Then students like myself, I did mass communications. Some programs are offered in the South Miami, and some of the programs are offered in the North Miami, which is the Biscayne Bay campus, right?
Okay.
So some of those programs is hospitality. We have a fantastic hospitality program because we're in Miami, right?
Yeah.
Actually, someone very, very famous, many people might not know him, but his name is Dave Grutman. He owns a lot of not hotels, but clubs and
Yeah.
restaurants in Miami. He's a professor at FIU, right?
Wow.
So he is teaching one of the classes, and during one of the classes, who shows up? DJ Khaled, his friend.
No.
So that's the type of awesome, cool experience that our students get, right? Our hospitality program is amazing, and that's in the Biscayne Bay. International business is highly ranked, right? In the past 10 years, our international business program has been in the top 10, and we fluctuate from rank 7 to rank number 4, but we're always in the top 10. So students know if they're interested in business, they can come to FIU for a great program. And the international business is in the South Miami. So just depending on your program would depend on which location. And then there's also FIU Online. We have one of the best online programs in the US.
Wow.
One of the best ones is a hospitality online program we have. I think it's ranked number 9.
Okay.
Very, very highly ranked program. So, and then there's a few others that are very well as too, but lots of different degrees that you can get fully online. And that has really been the backbone right now for FIU during this quarantine, is how strong our FIU platform, online platform is, and how students can get instruction online.
Well, and that's really good because right now I'm taking a certification online myself. And again, it was reminded to us 1.7 billion learners. Right now, 17% online learners. Prior COVID-19, 50% projection for 50% projection for 2020. So for schools like yours, FIU, that are prepared, I forecast an increase on online learning.
Yeah.
Like there's no tomorrow, because now we all learn that we can do more things from home. But I have seen different platforms, and if you guys have a solid and you are advancing your technology, that will help you tremendously with your enrollment goals. So good job to you guys. Now, I have a question. Since FIU is hot right now, is the school that a lot of folks from around the world want to be. They want to come. They're going to open the borders, and they will come back here. They will return the international students. It is becoming very competitive to actually get into FIU. So can you send a word of wisdom to those students that are watching? And Sofia, by the way, this video will be housed on our YouTube channel. So I will make sure you get the link as well, and students and families will continue watching this. Okay?
Yes. So it depends on the type of student you are. So for example, students who are freshman applicants, they're applying out of high school. My biggest recommendation, okay, is your most important year of high school is the junior year, the year right before the last.
Okay.
That is the year that you really need to start thinking about universities, not just FIU, universities in general, and what you want out of your experience. Okay. Because FIU is one of those schools that we require the SAT or the ACT for freshman applicants.
Okay.
That is a requirement that's set by the Board of Governors of Florida. So I believe that there's 3 states in the U.S. that Board of Governors essentially require this. It's California, Georgia, and Florida. So the other Florida schools that are the public institutes like UF, FSU, they also have this requirement of SAT, and it makes it very competitive. So my biggest recommendation is to apply to FIU 1 year before you wish to start at FIU. For example, the students who apply for fall 2020, now this coming August, some of those students actually started the application August 2019. Because our application is open 1 year before you want to start. It's open year round. So for example, students who are thinking, who are going to start their last year of high school next academic year, those students that want to start fall 2021, start applying August 2020.
Yes.
Because it gives you time to take the SAT or to take the ACT. It gives you time to do well in school and start making sure that your grades are good, right?
Yes.
Because those are the main things we're looking at. The SAT test, which is very difficult, and your high school grades. And you have to make sure you did well in high school, that you did your homework, that you did all the tests. So that's my biggest recommendation, because it is very competitive. Also, we do have a lot of transfer students. Actually, our biggest population at FIU is transfer students. All right, I think it's about 70% of our undergraduates are students who attended another university and actually said, I want to finish my degree at FIU, and they actually chose FIU. So my biggest recommendation for them as well is to make sure that you complete at least 30 credits at your previous school, at least 1 year. 30 credits is about 1 year. Take an English class in the university and take a math class. That will make you more qualified to be considered for admission. And for graduate students who are interested in a graduate program, my biggest recommendation is that as soon as the earliest that you can, complete the application as well. And what's great about FIU is that each of our graduate programs have a specific contact person for the applicants to reach out to. And that person knows exactly everything they would need to know about the program. Application dates, you know, supplemental documents you may need, like a resume, letters of recommendation, a statement of purpose. That contact person will help the applicant through the whole process.
Okay.
So it depends on the type of student you are. If you're a freshman, SAT and preparing a year in advance. If you're a transfer student, completing at least 1 year full of college or university and then transferring to FIU. And if you're a graduate, researching on our website and getting in contact with that person that represents your program. Those are my big tips.
I think you have a student here, a transfer, Nicolas. He's a transfer student.
Okay.
So, hi, Nicolas. Question for you. So I had Fiona Reese from UCLA 3 weeks ago on our conversation, and UC schools for this year, I believe next year, they are not going to require the SAT or the ACT. It's been approved. I believe Georgia is going that way. Any talks in Tallahassee about our board? What are they saying about, because SAT right now, they haven't even announced whether we're going to have ACT or not.
Yes, I know. So right now, what we're telling students is, you know, for example, the fall application closed already in April. Okay,
Yes.
so about 2-3 weeks ago.
Yes.
So students right now, if they haven't taken it, they would have to consider the spring semester. So right now, what FIU and along with, you know, in Tallahassee, the other state universities, they're definitely talking about what we need to do as next steps to help these students, because if the SAT is not available, we need to figure out something else. So those conversations are definitely being had, and I think that what they're trying to do, all the universities, to be on the same page so that we can do things within the state of Florida.
Yes.
But definitely the conversation of test optional is there, right? A lot of schools are doing that, and it seems to be one of the main solutions that there are. So it's something that is being considered definitely. For how long or when is what we're trying to figure out now. But for example, we just accepted Duolingo now. We used to only accept TOEFL and IELTS, and now, you know, there's silver linings, right? Before COVID, it was just TOEFL and IELTS, and now temporarily we're accepting Duolingo for students entering the fall. So that is an opportunity for students. So those conversations, we're definitely having them. We're making progress. It's just, you know, for such large institutions, we have to make sure that everyone's on the same page.
I know, and there is a big conversation as well for Florida residents about full Florida Bright Futures, Fulbright. I mean, how will that cover? Because you need to have the SAT, but now that there is no SAT available, are they gonna waive Tallahassee for a year? You know, the Florida Bright Future requirement for SAT, ACT.
Yeah. That's a great question, and it pertains a little more of the Bright Futures, because I handle international students.
Yes.
They don't usually use Bright Futures, but I know that's something that our financial aid office is also working on, and we've had some questions about that. I'm hoping that in the meantime, they do make those changes, you know, to meet the demands of students who are not, you know, getting opportunity to take the SAT. But I think a lot of what we're doing right now is just monitoring the situation. So, you know, in certain parts of Florida, whether it may be, you know, ideal or not, they're opening up. Okay. And we're trying to see right now, for example, we're having a lot of meetings within FIU to find ways to repopulate the university. Okay. And there's different phases. We're implementing a lot of very diligent and careful consideration and decisions for those phases. And we're hoping that it works, that in time, those tests will be accessible in the next few months, at least here in Florida for those students, and then hopefully internationally as well. So we're definitely waiting to see before we need to make major final decisions if they're necessary or not.
Okay. Sofia, question for you. Transfer students, are they still eligible to apply for this fall?
Transfer students are the if there is a transfer student that does not have the F1 visa, they have until June 15th.
Okay.
Students that do have the F1 visa and they would want to transfer within the US have actually until July 15th.
Okay, perfect, perfect.
Um,
So
then
U.S. citizens, they have until June 15th?
for citizens, residents, and then students who do not have an F1, so who do not have the student visa, June
Yes.
15th. Everyone else, July 15th.
Okay, perfect. Now let's go into right now that we're doing so much online. Any talks or do you guys have any online programs for high school students for the local community even or for the internationals that they want to have a summer program?
So that's for online. That's a great question. I know that we have an office of dual enrollment. So it's an office that specifically creates courses that are very much curriculum, but for these high school students. Now, whether they're going to be offering this online instruction, they determined either. But that is something that would be phenomenal and fantastic because it shouldn't stop students from continuing what they would have been able to do in person. So I think that we're still waiting on more information on that as well.
Okay.
But we have the platform to do it, which is awesome.
And it's fair, and it is fair because just universities are coming out with programs, online programs, like probably from the president to the provost to trickle to every department, say, okay, make it happen. So I know faculty are like, oh my gosh, but we have the platform, but it takes probably 2 to 3, 4 weeks to put this together.
Yeah. And we're this pandemic came in a very tough time. It came right in the middle of when we would have our recruitment trips, when we would travel and meet our students, and also right before these deadlines. So it came in one of the worst times possible that now we have to adapt quickly.
I know. Were you recruiting? Were you recruiting when this happened and they were gonna close the borders, or you were here in the U.S.?
That is, the recruitment trips I had for this semester, I was able to do my Panama trip, able to do my Ecuador trip, I was able to do my Mexico trip.
Okay.
I went to India, and the day after I arrived to India, I was connecting in Qatar. I went from India to Qatar, Qatar to Miami. The day after I landed in Miami, Qatar said, we are not accepting anyone coming from India.
Wow.
I got very lucky.
Wow.
I did the first week of March. The first week of March, I landed back in Miami, and since then we've been quarantined. I got back. I was in the office for just a few days, and we started working remote from home. So it was very close call, but I'm very fortunate, very lucky. I didn't get sick or anything like that. A lot of people were like, oh, you just came back, you traveled, but no, I was okay. Luckily, everyone I was with is okay. So it's definitely a close call.
So I guess this is, I think, day 53 for all of us here in Florida. Crazy, but you sound good spirits. Sophia, I have a question for you, for the audience. One of the world's largest conferences happen in different campuses around the United States, Canada. They're talking about bringing abroad, and it was coming next year to FIU. Is it being moved for 2022, or what are the talks?
That is correct. So officially this summer, coming July, it was supposed to be University of New Mexico.
Yes.
Then 2021, it would have been FIU. But because of this pandemic and because of the situation, it was a difficult decision, I know, because it is a conference and an organization that you and I both love and that many people do, and their year revolves around this conference and meeting each other and working and networking. So it was a very difficult decision for the organization, but it was a necessary one, and I think everyone agreed. It is officially announced that FIU, we just postponed it. So University of New Mexico will still have the opportunity to host, as they should, in 2021, and FIU will host it 2022. which gives us much more time to
Of
make the
course.
experience even better. So, this is the safest and best decision we could have made.
Okay. So for those watching, May 26th, we will have the president of International ACAC here, conversations with Becky Konowitz. So stay tuned. So now you have a question here. Really worried, will there be fall semester on-campus classes for 2020? What do you think, Sophia?
So, fall 2020 classes, I will say this. FIU is an amazing campus. Like you said, when you come to campus, you feel the energy, you feel the diversity, you feel everyone who loves it there. And we want that. We want everyone there.
Mm-hmm.
But we need to make sure that we're making the safest decisions for the community,
Yes.
that we're following the CDC, that we're following local government and their recommendations. So what we're trying to do is, like I mentioned, we have these phases that we're going to try implementing to repopulate the university,
Okay.
slowly and surely with employees and then students. It has not started yet, those phases, but those are what we are planning to do. And that information is actually provided online. We're sharing all the information that we've come to for those phases. But it's definitely undecided right now. We don't
Yes.
know, from one day to the next. We would hate to announce that we will, and then in 2 weeks, another outbreak happens, and then we have to retract that decision.
Yes.
So this is the conversations I'm having with my students who are applying to FIU. They ask me the same question. They go, Sophie, am I going to be there fall 2020? Tell me, and I tell them, look, there's two options, right? Either we do open, and that decision will most likely come, in around June, when we have time to make that decision, but then also for students to plan and come and make sure everything's in order. um, or if it is safest, we will keep instruction online, like our
Yes.
students have been doing throughout spring, which is, our online program is fantastic. So a lot of the students really actually learn to love the online program if they've never done it before. They still have their weekly classes via Zoom, and everyone has to log in. They even create the whole class creates a WhatsApp group chat, so they actually help each other online.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a different type of curriculum, it's a different type of instruction, but students have become accustomed to it. So
Yes.
one of those things will happen. Again, we're planning, we're pushing, we're trying to make it happen, but we need to also, it's kind of like that tough decision for International ACEC that they made to cancel it. It was the smartest and safest thing to do. So we're definitely monitoring the situation. We're waiting to see. But I want the school to open, right? And that's why we need to make sure that everyone is staying home, that everyone's staying healthy, that everyone is taking care of themselves, so that this could end faster and so that we
Uh-huh.
can open.
Okay. So, and I will tell, I will say the name, Rachna. I hope I'm pronouncing that well. We've been having guests from all over the country, from Boston to California, and the consensus is the same. We are following the authorities, and every governor is telling us what to do, and safety is first. But you will see that a lot of programs are coming with three models, whether it's hybrid, a hybrid model, online school. Then for the students that cannot come to the United States, they will start in the spring on campus. So I will say probably within a month or so, there are going to be more announcements. And we will
Yeah.
invite you over back, Sophia, so you can give us updates. There is a very cool question here from a PhD candidate. Said, I applied for a PhD position and I have not received yet any news. Will you be accepting international students for grad school?
Yes, we do. We
Yes.
do accept students for international students for graduate programs. Uh, if the student doesn't mind, I would love to assist them personally, and I'm actually going to share my email on this live right now, so you can feel free to email me directly, and I can
Okay.
help you, because I would love to look into your application. I would love to see what program you've applied to, see if you're missing any documents, help you log into your student portal. So until I can see more about your file, I can help you better. So this is my email. It is at FIU.edu. So it spells Sofsanch at FIU.edu.
Okay.
So feel free to email me.
Perfect, perfect. And we will try to house that on our Instagram account. So, Maritz, if you haven't followed up JCT for Education, you gotta come through our Instagram account. Any last thoughts? She's the best and can definitely help you. And I don't recognize the name. So FIU Honors. Yeah, FIU Honors. Thank you, FIU Honors, for watching. Yes, she is the best. We're very proud of our neighbors. As when I call you, I say, let's help each other. I've been reaching out to all the Florida schools, but thank you so much because we love the schools. We love the enthusiasm. Everything that you guys are doing for the state of Florida is absolutely phenomenal. Whether you're domestic or international students, you can tell. Undergraduate helping a PhD candidate here. So I'm so proud of you guys. Thank you.
No, and thank you. What you are doing here is incredible. It goes past education. It's just honestly just perfect service for everyone, not only in Florida, but these information sessions are so helpful. I was looking at the other people who you've had, and it's very interesting. I can't wait to log back in tomorrow to learn more. So thank you for honestly being such a community leader. It is fantastic what you are doing here with your organization.
Thank you so much. We will have you back for sure, Sofia. Yep. And one last thought. What are your learnings from this social distancing? And any final thoughts?
My final thoughts. You know, it is a lot of time for self-reflection, right? And I'm seeing a lot of people, they are learning a little more about themselves, interested in learning new recipes, reading books, maybe taking more walks outside than they usually did in the fast-paced, schedules that we used to have. So, the bright side is that we're kind of feeling a little more closer together than ever before while social distancing, which is very odd. So I think we just need to learn from this. This is a lesson we need to learn from, that we need to work together for a common goal, which is, healthy and back to normal. So, but the only way we do it is together. That's one really important thing to learn.
Absolutely. And this is your space. Anytime you want to come back for updates, we should bring you up this summer. And mi casa es tu casa. Muchas gracias.
Gracias a usted. Thank you.
And for those of you, JCT for Education, Juan Catamayo, Sofia Sanchez, FIU, go Panthers.
Woo!
Take care. Woo! Adiós.
Bye.
Chao, gracias.